Okay, hello, youngest females. Let's see. What is the message for you today? Alright, Most High, please block anybody trying to interfere with this reading. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. So, first of all, before I get into the reading, I'd like to explain what youngers mean. Youngers refers to somebody who is in the early stages of development. It has very little to do with age, but more with experience and the lessons that we have learned. Okay? So, if you're dealing with something, whatever issue that comes up in the reading, if you're new to it, you'll be considered a youngers or a younger. I need to find a better name that describes exactly what I'm saying. Because at first, I did intend for it to be aimed at people who are like under 25 or something like that. But then God made it clear to me that it's not about the age, it's about the personal development of a person. So, no matter how old you are, if if you're dealing with the issue that come out in this reading and you're like new to whatever it is, then you're considered a younger, okay? Or a newbie. I need to find a good name to really say what I mean. I feel like newbie might be a better way to term it, but to be decided. Okay? So without further delay, let's get into what the message is, okay, for you guys today. Youngers or newbies. What is it that God wants you to know today, y'all? So it's like, even if you're, let's say you're 60 and you used to date back in the day and you stopped dating for whatever reason and now you're trying to get into dating again, you'd be considered a newbie. Like, things have changed, people have changed, so you have to like relearn that aspect all over again. So if that comes out in the reading, then this would most likely apply to you. Okay? And other things, just whatever you're new at. It's not something that you're very well versed in. You're considered a younger or a newbie. Okay? So let's see what God want to talk about today. All right, so the subject matter we can, but God can. Hello. Yeah. So that right away suggests to me that you need to include God in your situation. Mm-hmm. All the strength that we have within ourselves, it comes from God. And it runs out sometimes so that we can return to God. So whatever reserves you had, you're all out. whether it's intellect or money or human resources or food, whatever it is that you're lacking, God's got it. And God wants you to know you can't do it by yourself, but I can do it for you. So I'm going to need you to step back and recognize when it's my turn to intervene in your life. Okay? God didn't build us for us to operate in a way like we don't need it. We need God. Okay? God wants to be remembered. God wants to be appreciated. And in order for us to remember God, we get put in situations sometimes that we can't handle. And who we gonna turn to? After we've turned to our mommy and daddy and friend and cousin and a friend of a friend and somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody and all that fail, who do you turn to? God wants you to remember it. God loves us, whether we good or we bad. And that's the damn truth. God loves us, no matter if we good or we bad. It's just that, like a loving parent, when you misbehave, you get punished. So that you can know that that's not the right way to behave. Because if God don't discipline us, then we gonna end up disciplining each other. And we do not always have full control of our emotions. So sometimes somebody do commit a crime against you that's like that big and you retaliate like that much. So what's gonna happen? That person gonna be vexed because now you've offended them. It's like, I ain't even treat you that bad. I ain't even do nothing to you. It's like making the punishment fit the crime. We humans, we have a lot of flaws. We have a lot of weaknesses. And these weaknesses get us into trouble with each other on a regular. These weaknesses even get us into trouble with ourselves. So let's say you're in a situation with a boy that you really like, and you know that you shouldn't fuck him, but you're so tempted to give it up. You can pray. Ask God to intervene, to give you the strength to say no. Because you know if you give in, the repercussions that happen as a result of you not standing strong in that situation is going to be more than you like to deal with. It's going to make your life a living hell. Anything that you need, you pray. Any situation you find yourself in that's greater than you, invite God into it. We can't, but God can. Okay? So let's get the rest of the information. There's nothing that God can't do. If anybody tells you otherwise, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm a walking, living, breathing testimony of there's nothing that God cannot do. Okay. And God is worthy to be praised. God is not unfair. Okay? God blesses us every day, all day. It's just that we don't take the time to recognize it. We don't take the time to realize the blessings of God. Everything that we enjoy on a daily basis, every lesson that we learn from the hardships that we go through, that's God's love for us. That's God's blessings to us. Okay? Our very breath that keeps us alive is God's blessing to us. Our intelligence, our talents is God's blessing to us. The people we have in our life that we love is God's blessing to us. The job that you got, even if it's not the one that you want, it's God's blessing to you. The person that's taking care of you, even though you would prefer to be able to take care of yourself, but you can't right now, is a blessing to you. Recognize God's blessings. The fact that you don't have things that you want, or things don't happen how you would like them to happen, it doesn't mean that you're not being blessed. You are being blessed. It's you need to open up your eyes and recognize it could have been worse. Be grateful for the provisions. You get into an accident, you can't move, but you're still breathing, there's still hope. There's hope for recovery. It may take a long time and you may have to work hard, but there's still hope. There's people who have lost their from their bottom torso and they're still living productive lives. Happy. They refuse to quit. They choose to see a brighter future in spite of their difficulties. You've seen them on TikTok. Skates, people who love to skate lose their legs and they create small wheelchairs that they go on the skating ramp to enjoy that thing that they love so much. Life is what you make of it. You just have to see it in the right way so you can appreciate. Not be angry at God because things isn't working how you want it to. When things don't go how we want it to, is because there's a lot of things in the background that you don't know about. That's not in your best interest. You probably heard people say this before. It's not a joke. These are people who have experienced things. If you miss your train and you end up late for work, it was better that you not get on that train. That's God's protection. There was something happening there that God was trying to avoid, or something that's happening on the train or in that time frame that God wants you to encounter. Divine guidance, that's what that is called. God works for us all day, every day, even though we choose not to acknowledge it. God loves us anyway. But if you're a friend to someone, if you're loving someone because you want to love them, it's not like, say, you need them to acknowledge that, but it feels nicer to you when they acknowledge the positive vibes that you bring into their life. That's the same with God. So God does what it does for us because it loves us, but it will feel better to God to be acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? To be included, to be invited. Because God is a worthy friend. There's not a parent or a friend who can compare to God as our parent and our friend. Trust me. There's nobody anywhere ever that's going to love you as much. You know, when they talk about unconditional love, I've come to the conclusion that any human being that say they love somebody unconditionally, they don't really know what unconditional love is. God is the only one that loves us unconditionally. God is the only one who can love unconditionally. Because if you say you love someone unconditionally, that means even when they treat you like shit, you still gonna love them. Or when they treat you like shit over and 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 over, you still gonna love them. Who has the strength to do that? Who is built in such a way? I'm not. So I could be wrong, but I can only speak from my own intelligence. I feel that Our love is conditional. Yeah, I'ma love you freely, but there are conditions. Treat me right. Okay? Or else you don't need to be in my life. You don't need to be in my energy, period. Because you're bad for my health. You're bad for my emotional health. You're bad for my physical health. You're bad for my intellectual health. You're bad for my social health. You're just bad for my health. I don't have to hate you, but I'm certainly not gonna love you. And if I do choose to love you, it's like, what am I loving? I don't like the version of you that you have brought into my life. There's nothing in it to love. So, unconditional love, God loves us unconditionally. God's forgiveness is infinite, but God will tap that ass. Okay? So, understand that God and people are not the same. We cannot compare people to God in no sense of the word. God will outshine us every time. Whether it's good or evil, God is the master on both. We can't be more vile than God. So if we want to test God on how evil we can be, we gonna lose. And if we want to test God on how good we can be, we gonna lose. We can't, but God can. Okay? Okay. So we got a couple cards fall out, but they in the reverse. So let's check to see how they're meant to be interpreted before we can. Okay, so God is delaying it because God says somebody need to marinate a little bit on all the things that we just said. So we're going to wait just a little bit for those people. It doesn't matter which religion you follow, God is God. It's not about religion, it's about moral uprightness. God loves everybody. And God advises us to love each other as we love ourselves. That's true religion. So if you want to see yourself win, you must be happy to see others win as well. If you want to see yourself successful, you must be happy to see other people succeed. If you want to see yourself healthy, you must be happy to see other people healthy. That's the true representation of God in us. It's not about religion. It's not about religious sects. It's about character. Worship as you will, but do not underestimate or devalue the importance of character. So all this classism and racism and trying to conquer other people, manipulate other people, all them things are ungodly. Those are the type of things that God will whip us for. We get that ass tapped. Humble yourself. We need to humble ourselves. Love each other as we love ourselves. You want good for yourself? To emulate the God in you, you must equally want good for others. You want forgiveness for yourself? You must equally be okay with others being forgiven. When you make a mistake, you want people to be patient with you. You want people to speak to you with respect and solve the problem in a civil way. You want mercy. You must equally be merciful when someone has wronged you. That's an emulation of God in you. Let's continue. Feels at peace like this. Well, more at peace like this. So, okay, it's in the upright. Okay, so we got deception. They will be punished. And this is organized crime involving members of the private sector. So we the people. Deception, they will be punished. And this is organized crime involving members of the private sector. So that means how we treat each other. So just know that when we go around deceiving each other, we will be punished. Because we are supposed to love each other as we love ourselves. You don't want to be lied to. Why are you lying to others? Yes, in society they have set the standard where manipulation and lies and trickery is how they get by, but it doesn't make it right. So when are we going to put a stop to it? Somebody has to do the right thing first. The same way people were doing bad, and that then encouraged people to join that bandwagon, people gonna have to do good, which will be equally contagious, and people will then join the good bandwagon. It would be nice to have some more integrity in our society, wouldn't it? It would be nice to go to the shop and buy something that's truly worth what they're charging us for it. Something of good value, wouldn't it? It would be nice to be talking to a man or talking to a woman or talking to our parents, talking to our children, and we're feeding them truth and getting the truth back, whether the truth upsets us or not. Because once we know the truth, at least we know how to proceed. If you're proceeding based on a lie, what are you building on? You will never find your way. You're going somewhere, but you're going nowhere when your direction is based on lies. You're going somewhere, but you're going nowhere actually. Because wherever you're going to is not some place that's going to be benefiting you. You see it? So God wants us to know that when we lie to people, there will be a punishment for that. We need to stop lying to each other so much. It's getting out of control. And lies breed mistrust. When people know that you've lied to them, it's going to be hard for them to trust you, even when you're telling the truth. How are they to know you're not lying now? So you see, lies are bad for the liar. It's bad for the one who's being lied to, but it's equally bad for the liar. When we build things based on lies, there's not a solid foundation. It will fall like that. Because if you lied to me about that, what else have you lied to me about? People may not like your truth, but it's more profitable for you to speak your truth. So when you're building a rapport, whether it's in business or relationship or with your children or with your parents, it's going to be a strong rapport, because if you're going the wrong direction, at least they know how you think, so they can then correct you if they know better than you. If somebody's being absolutely honest with you, if they're going in the wrong direction and you know better than them, you can then correct them. But if they lie to you about what they really think and feel about certain subjects because they don't want to make you angry, then you can't help them, because you're gonna be left with the thought that, okay, they're okay. They got things, they got a good head on their shoulders, but do they really? So this is all about lies. God want to talk to us about how we treat each other when it comes to speaking truth and speaking lies. Punishment will come when we speak lies. Truth hurts. The truth hurts a lot of the times. But it's better to be stung with the truth than to be comforted by a lie, only to be kicked down by that lie later. Watch everything crumble because of that lie. You see it? It's not easy to tell the truth. I get it, because a lot of people lie because they want to get that desired outcome that they want. That's why a lot of people lie. But if you tell the truth, okay, let's say I'm a saleswoman and I'm selling a subpar product. If I'm the type of saleswoman to talk to my customers and tell them exactly what isn't so good about my product, people will find me strange at first. But when they think about it, at least they know what they're getting into when they come to me, first of all. And they'll be happy with spending their money because they knew that my product had these faults. You understand what I'm saying? So when they go home, if they experience whatever I tell them is faulty about it, they won't feel so bad. They will have knowingly spent their money with me anyway. It's hard to do. A lot of people don't do this. But it's better that you be honest. It's like if you're a hairdresser or a barber, or if you offer a service and you're in a trainee stage of your service, it's better for you to present yourself as a trainee, so that when you mess up, even your client will have patience with your growth. And those who keep coming to you, they'll be continually coming to you because they're trying to help you to grow. They know where you're at in your growth, and they're willing to be patient and honest with you and help you to grow. So that you just adopted a few teachers right there. Teachers and models, because one head is good, but two heads are better than one. Three heads are better than two. And as the years go by and you develop, these people, once they're around, they're going to stick with you. These are clients and customers for life because of your honesty. But when you present yourself as a professional and then you put out subpar work, they'll leave angry at you because you say you're a professional. And then that's bad for your business. That's bad for your reputation. That's bad for the business that you're working in. If it's somebody else's place of business. The truth, it's hard to tell the truth a lot of the time, but it's more profitable to tell the truth. If you're a woman and you want to get with a man and you only want a sexual relationship, tell him. That's what you're up to. And if he's up for it, then go ahead. But if you know that there's a man out there who actually loves you and want you to be his wife, don't pretend to want to be his wife just because he got money or just because he got something that you want. If you don't want the man, don't lie to the man and make the man believe that you want the man more than you actually do. Because that's gonna create tension, resentment, heartbreak. Shit, if you want a man just for his money, tell him that. And then he will then come with a counter offer. And it's like, okay, you want my money? Well, I want XYZ. Are you up for that? There's no need for us to be lying to each other. It just complicates things and make a whole mess of things. creating enemies where it's not necessary, burning bridges where it's not necessary. If somebody know you for your honesty, trust me, they're gonna rate you high. Even if they don't like your honesty, there's a part of them that have to respect your honesty anyway because they know it's true. They can't fight against it. They don't like it. The shit might hurt, but it's true. You know? And the truth helps us to grow. Lies keep us stuck. Pretending keep us stuck. Keep us stagnant. It wastes our time. It's like a couple together. They're together for 6, 7 years. And there's no talk of a real serious commitment. You want marriage, they don't. And they never tell you that. They just keep giving you enough to keep you behaving like a wife when they never have any plans to wife you. And then they get with somebody else and they wife them in less than no time. And you're wondering, well, what the hell? It's because they were lying to you. They were pretending to love you more than they actually did. They were pretending to value you more than they actually did. But they're such good deceptors that we don't even pick up on it. And a lot of us have been the victim of these things. It's not for you to get angry, it's for you to learn from it. Learn from it. And try not to let it happen again. Set yourself some new standards. Some reasonable standards, not some outlandish standards. You know, you have to set standards based in reality. Give a little, take a little. You know what I'm saying? That's how you live your best life. So yeah, so people who deceive each other can expect punishment. It's bad for the one that's being lied to, and it's bad for the one who is doing the lying. Look at this. We got number of persons involved, 1,001 to 5,000. The number of persons involved, 201 to 500. Number of persons involved, 500 to 50, to 100. So it's like a lot of people people on top of people just lying, you know, in the private sector. So this could be talking about we the people. This could be talking about businesses as well. But it's all of us. So then we have you won or succeeded. The culprit. And we got delusional. It would never happen. So the culprit feel like, yeah, I won. I deceived all these people, but God say, yeah, nah, just wait. It's like, wait for it. Wait for it. Because it's like, and then they go and try again. So it's like this. Let's say I'm selling a product, right? And I know that it's a shitty product. But I don't tell nobody it's a shitty product. Yeah, the product's gonna make a lot of sales because it's good, it's advertised well and everything like that. It's gonna get a lot of sales at first, but then when people actually get the product and they start to interact with the product and they see how crappy it is, you know what's gonna happen to their sales? Nobody's gonna come back to buy that shit. Hardly anybody. The only people that will come back to buy it is people who don't have a choice. So lying in business is a stupid idea. And that's why monopoly is not good. That's why it's always good to have a competitor, so to speak. It's good to make sure that there's always options. Because when somebody know they have the monopoly, they could do whatever the fuck they want. and they don't care because you don't have no choice. You have to come back here anyway. You see them things. But they think they're going to get away even when they have the monopoly. There will come a time when the whole empire will fall. Just wait for it. I don't make the rules here. I'm just here to tell you to go. And if you look back at life, if you're old enough and you look back at life, you will see everybody who has ever been telling lies and all these things, eventually the truth comes out. You're running a business and you know it's a shitty business, eventually people see that you're crappy at what you do. And they stop supporting you and you're wondering why sales gone down. What are you putting out? So yeah. So even though they try, they're gonna try again. We gotta expect them to try again, and then we got the culprit has been caught. And the assistant culprit too. Oh God. So yeah. We got doing something in your name. And we got this crime is being carried out by members of government and of the private sector. So everybody can get it. It don't matter how high up or how low down you are. The truth is your friend. Because if you don't tell the truth, you people gonna move on from you because God and its delegates are on the case. Things are changing. The new world is already here and it's a better world. God is watching. And God is ready to bring order. God is watching the fraud, criminality for personal or financial gain. God is ready to bring order. They are trying to discredit you. That's the next card in succession. But you get the point with this underlying issue here. And look, God saved them from their own stupid decisions. So this is to all the deceivers. This is to all the deceptors. Expect a fall. And if you are an assistant culprit in this deception, expect a fall, ladies. Expect it. The victims, help found. God is not on the side of the deceptors. God is not on the side of anybody trying to deceive anybody, anybody trying to hurt anybody, anybody trying to get over on anybody. Only honest work will be fruitful going forward. Real talk. I told y'all there's been a shift already. The new world is already here. And things are about to change in a lot of people's lives. There's a lot of shifting that's going to go on. Whether it's shifting within them own mind or shifting in the physical. God says, stop it. It's time to go legit. If you're not legit, you're going to fall. Anything that's not legit is going to fall. God says, I'm watching. This is why I love oracle cards, you know. They speak the language to you plain and simple. We got there's more help found and there's more. What more? I don't know. Let's wait and see. So make sure that you're found on the right side of divine law. Because members of the public sector and members of the private sector, any and everybody is going to get it. If you're not doing right, you're going to get it. Expect a fall. God says so, I didn't say so. The truth shall set us all free. The truth shall ensure our success. There's no need for the whole heap of lying. It's a waste. It's hard telling the truth because we're not used to it. Well, y'all ain't used to it. I'm hated because I tell the truth. And here is God telling y'all, when you lie, you're going to get punished. So you think I'm going to change my way? I'm one of the only ones who's doing the right thing, and people want to hate me and kill me for telling the truth. Shit, I'm going to tell the truth anyway. At least when you're working with me, you know exactly what you're working with. Because I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm going to tell you what I want. I'm going to tell you what I don't want. If you choose not to believe me, that's your business. But when you look back, you'll be able to see, you know what, she did tell me that. I'm not going to make it complicated for you. I'm going to tell you straight up. If I like you, I'm going to tell you I like you. If I don't like you, I'm going to tell you I don't like you. If I can, I'm going to tell you I can. If I can't, I go tell you I can't. I'm not here to portray myself as someone who I am not. It's stupid. Because it will be seen. And then that just make me look undignified. The people that hate me, they hate me because I say what I mean and I mean what I say. I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk too, and that's what makes them very upset. Because they're trying to paint me as something else, but they can't because I am who I say I am. And it's sexy. It's powerful to be like that. And it's effective. If you're a coward, say you're a coward. If you're brave, say you're brave. If you're smart, say you're smart. Don't act like a fool to fit in. If you be yourself, you're going to find your people, and your people are going to find you. And then you can just grow and get better and better and better at whatever or whoever you are. You have to be yourself to attract the right energies and people and circumstances to you. It's magic. That's real magic. That's real power. If you like someone, admit you like them. If you admire someone, admit you admire them. Don't hate them because you admire them, because you think that they're above you. That's silly. Let their height inspire you. I'm not saying to be like other people, but we learn and cultivate who we are based on things that we've seen and heard and whatnot. So if you see somebody going on a kind of way that you like, then why not try and take a page out their book? But you know, it's kind of weird because, okay, when I'm dealing with the men I'm dealing with, I would tell them, you could be brutally honest with me because that's what I like. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't tell them to go be brutally honest with other girls that they're interested in. Why? Because I know my temperament. I can be a beast, but it takes a lot to bring that bitch out of me. So, saying that, I also have to add that they might try to be truthful with other people and they just might get a pot in their head. You know what I'm saying? So, when I say that, it's like you have to find a balance. Because why would you want to be around people that you cannot be truthful with? That's a prison. Don't you think? That's definitely a prison. That's a mental prison. That's a form of mental enslavement. To be around people that you cannot speak the truth to, or you cannot be yourself, your absolute self with. Because that's how you find your flock. So if somebody come and speak a truth to you and you just hate it so much that you can't be around them, then that means you're not meant to be around them, innit? It doesn't matter what they have. If you want peace, you gotta go away from them. Because it's not gonna work. It's like, are you gonna sacrifice your morals for their money, or sacrifice your morals for their status, or sacrifice your morals for their connections? Or it's like, it's not a good trade, is it? Because then people are gonna think that you're like that person. So if you hate this particular characteristic about them so much, then you should disassociate yourself, so that you don't get branded in that way too. Because there's a saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Now, that's not necessarily true, because some people are strong enough within themselves to associate with people who get involved in XYZ, but they themselves will never. But most people don't have that type of strength. But generally speaking, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So if you're around people who got characteristics that you really can't get down with, you don't want to be known for that, then I think that's a sign to disassociate yourself from such ones. Yeah, you have to be yourself, be true to yourself. That's your guide. That's your guide to excellence, your best life. Being true to yourself is your guide to your best life. Yeah. So yeah. So I hope that this has been helpful to you and your personal development. It's hard to be honest in this fucking world full of liars, I'ma tell you. So be honest with care. Okay? Every time is not the right time to be honest. I guess if you can't be honest, be quiet. And if somebody's doing something that you really can't get down with, that you don't want to be known for, then you need to know that it's time for you to disassociate yourself, or else you will get branded as being the same as whoever it is. So, I don't know if you need to rewind this and play it back and see what gems you missed, but I hope that this was helpful to you. And together, we create a better world. One better than this. It don't have to be perfect, because perfect is boring. But, good God, we want a better world. Eh? Yeah, we need a better world. This world need a doctor to bring it back to life. For real. I'ma take my special self, because I'm a little bit goofy, a little bit crazy, a little bit nice, a little bit sexy, a little bit cute, a little bit ugly, a little bit everything. So I'm gonna just take my special self and go live my life. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Okay? You don't have to be 100% nice, but do a little better. You know what I'm saying? All right. Until next time.